Oh, you're gonna be first for a long time. Try to be first on the live stream with a couple of thousand people watching. Then we'll talk. Don't be first on the freaking live stream that gets like 4 views at max. This guy. Okay. And there we go. The most views were 10. Well, I mean, okay, if I combine the people who watched me on Twitch and YouTube, maybe I can make a 10. In fact, yesterday I had more people on Twitch than YouTube. Okay, so I should stream OSU. What is OSU? Please tell me. Oh man. Okay, so what do we got here? Hey, okay, so this is working. Never mind. That is a bunch of hakalugi. Let's see. Oh, actually, no, it is working. Okay, so the rhythm game I showed you once, where you ask for what games I used. Oh, okay, I remember you. You don't come to my streams very often, you little shit. Oh, man. Dude, it's Thanksgiving tomorrow in Canada. Also, I need to move my microphone closer to my face so that I can actually talk to people and be heard. And let me turn this down so I'm not clipping like a motherfucker. Okay. And my hair is not grazing the microphone. I don't need a bunch of people with boners watching my live stream for the wrong reasons. Okay, so big changes. I was trying out the tile-based collision system yesterday. Technically, I got it to work, but there's issues with corners, collisions at the corners, which I do not get with object-based collisions. So my main advantage, like I was using instances of object slidey bullshit, right? So my main issue was essentially the fact that if I use tile-based collisions, then I don't have to do like this. I don't have to go over here and place a tile here and place it. I know I can paint this stuff on, but you know. So what I'm gonna instead do is I'm gonna go for an automated system. I keep wanting to call you hiatus. Or Hades or something like that. Hades would be bomber. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make an automated system that's going to place all these instances myself. And I'm going to deactivate all of those instances, so it basically doesn't count as live objects. And I'm going to basically only have the player and some other objects literally only activating like a tiny region of these instances around it. So this way I can still keep my system where I just have to paint the tiles on, but at the same time I'm really only gonna have like a handful of these instances being active at once. At least I want to test out that system, because tile collisions, like, I've watched at least 4 tile collision tutorials on YouTube. They're all doing the same shit, and they all have like the tile being 32 by 32 pixels and the player being 32 by 32 pixels. That's not the formats that I've got here, so I have to come up with a more complicated tile collision formula, and fuck that, I already have a working formula. So my main advantage is the fact that I don't have to put in these instances. So I'm just gonna make an automated script that's going to say, if around this block there's at least one free block that does not have a tile on it, put a fucking tile there, and that will essentially create all this stuff for me. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, blocks. Which layer is this shit on? Blocks. Okay. So in here, I'm going to place a developer mode so that I could actually see these instances, and I'm going to, as a matter of fact, delete all of these blocks. I said all of these blocks. Okay. So now I need to do the unspeakable. Let's see. Object control. Jenko's in the house. House is in the house. House is in the house. Sass and Seuss. And Dr. Seuss. Green eggs and ham. Alright. Let me post this thing. Okay, so basic idea. Where is my script that actually tracks layers? Because particle depths. Because I can use the same argument over there. Okay, so here we go. Particles and levels. No, not that. These are per level things. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna rename it per room reset tasks. So first of all, basically all of this stuff. Where the fuck is... Oh, there's the if statement. Okay, so before resetting, adjust particle depths. Beautiful. And then generate block instances. Generate collision block instances. So now for XX equals 0, XX below room width, XX plus 32. In fact, this has to be 16, so let's just have it smack in the middle of the tile. And do the following. we shall do y room height. Okay, so now it's complaining that I put a thing here. Okay, so first of all, this will do it for every single tile. Whatever is inside here. So we're technically on tile number 1. Tile number 1 will need to do a check whether or not. Oh yeah, so variable empty detected equals false, and then we'll do, then basically we need to do this. If where's the what was the tile get at pixel. Come on. Come on. Where is it? Get, or maybe tile at pixel. Let's look this shit up. I keep forgetting the function name. Which is once again, thankfully, Yo-Yo Games is on their A game when it comes to documentation. At pixel. Or pixel. Come on, you motherfucker. I know you're in there. Okay, fine. 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 Tile. Set at pixel. So get at pixel. I was right. It was right there. Question. Go nuts. Tile map. Get at pixel. Okay. I'm trying to use a shader to manipulate the vertex buffer shadow. Alright. That is already intriguing. Since the shader applied to all vertices, yes. I'm guessing you're waiting for the YouTube chat cooldown to cool you down. Like, you're talking too much. Although you are the moderator, so I don't think that would be a problem. I had to make a workaround and just test it if setting the vertices that must be manipulated to -10 coordinates. Okay, so I see you already talking about a workaround. I'm not sure what the problem was in the first place, though. You don't want the shader to be applied to all the vertices? If I ran the shader over everything, it would displace everything. Okay, and you need to displace only the image points, or the shadow points, I should say. Okay, so we're gonna get the idea of this thing right at the start. And basically we're just gonna go to, here we go, map ID. So really I only need to check. I only need to displace the vertices that aren't touching the sprite. Right. So then use this essentially in the create event of your object that's casting the shadow. Do this. Create shader uniform handle so that you could supply the shader with custom values, and then have GameMaker basically supply the shader with a value of where the sprite is located, right? You can probably even supply it with like several points or an array of points, or you know, you can think of it this way. Like you can tell that whatever points are located closest to like the X and Y position of the sprite, the point of origin of the light, then don't affect those vertices, right? And since shaders work with 0 to 1 scale from left to right, not like pixel values, just, you know, do a calculation in GML that, you know, view X is 0, view X plus width is 1, and then you calculate which value between 0 and 1 is the lightest the light is located. I wouldn't want the vertices touching the tile to be moved to. Okay, well you kind of lost me there. So let me check out that link actually. It'd probably be helpful. Okay. I see. Man, can you make a lighting system that's not working around bricks and blocks, right? Can you like make a lighting system that can dynamically scale itself up and down? You know, if you're using like a fucked up shape, like a camel. Oh god, if anybody ever watches this live stream, there's so few people who will get what I'm talking about. But anyways, like, you know, I'm just like, if you have an animated sprite of the player, right? The sprite will have different sizes, you know, hands sticking out, hands sticking down, foot sticking forward, and all those things need to like affect the shape of the shadow, the width of the shadow from the point of origin. That's the kind of stuff that I'm excited about, right? Anyways, you kind of lost me on the stuff, so I'm looking at your image, and well, yeah. I wouldn't want the vertices touching the square to be moved to. Okay, so I see what you're talking about. So what are you using shader for in this case? What exactly is the shader doing? Right, okay, so I see your triangle highlight there. Okay, well, ghosting shadow. I see. I mean, if your blocks were snapped to a grid, you can always say if these vertices are strictly at like 32 pixel increments, that would be easy, but that would pretty much make your lighting system proprietary to your own program or to your own game. Why are you using a shader? Just out of curiosity. Just wondering what's the shader doing actually here, because I'm not really sure. Okay. So map ID, and I'm gonna do XXYY, and I need to check for 4 of these positions. So basically XX minus 32, XX plus 32, YY minus 32, YY plus 32. And if any one of these suckers has because my GPU can manipulate 5 million vertices at 30 frames per second, while my CPU can build a few thousand. So is this huh. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. Wait, so is this all taking place in the shader? Or are you still using vertex buffers? Yeah, that's interesting. Variable empty detected. Right, so so if any one of these has a thing that's equals to, whoops, what the, there we go. That's equals to 0, which means that no tile. The buffer each step for manipulating the vertices with a shader. Ah, okay, so live lighting. I see what you're doing. Okay, I see what you're getting at. So you've built the buffer in game, but you want to move the buffer using a shader. It's actually kind of smart. Nice. You could try to maybe, oh man, that wouldn't work. You need to let the shader know which vertices are close to the light, which are the casting ones, which are furthest to the light. Wait, hold on. Your light radius. What if you just do a calculation of if the vertice is outside of the light radius? Those are the vertices you want to be adjusting, right? Because as far as I know, your vertices, the light radius, that's basically where the shadow fall off vertices have to actually reach. They have to be outside of that radius in order to, you know, make a proper looking shadow. Otherwise your shadow will end before the light radius will end. So how about you do a check in the shader that only basically manipulates the vertices that are outside of the radius of the center point, which is supplied with the handle. Right? So your center point's here. You say you supply the shader with the XY coordinates with the value from 0 to 1, 0 being the left side of your view, right, 1 being the left side of the view, and then you supply it with that position and say, okay, so the radius is like 200 pixels. So with the shader, if the vertice is more than 200 pixels, so that vertice right there, I know it's not, but you know, that vertice right there, and just adjust that vertice based on the position here, if you know. What about supplying extra data? I actually thought of that, but I thought it wouldn't really be all that efficient, considering I'm not sure how what the bottlenecks are for sending stuff to and from the shader using a handle. So I figured maybe you want to kind of minimize the amount of data that you kind of sending there and just let the GPU figure the rest out, right? I mean, I don't know. Freezing a buffer gets me from 2 to... Well, okay, I'm not talking about supplying like or rebuilding stuff. I'm just talking about sending the position of the light, and then in the shader you tell to, you know, dick around with the vertices that are just located outside of this light radius. I think there is a function there that actually checks vertex, like 2 vertex. Yeah, there definitely is one. Anyways, why are you complaining? I missed something in here. Jesus, great. Blah, blah, blah. Tile map, get that pixel. Map? Is it still here when I do this? No. So the error is in here. If these are all equal signs, right? Man, this monitor sucks. I can't see if that's an equal sign or a minus sign. Fuck me. Jelly! I don't think supplying each data for each vertex, it's not a limitation of the buffer. It's really just a limitation of the shader handle. I don't know if you can send an array of vertices and their positions. You could try. Nobody's stopping, yeah? Okay. Why are you complaining? Oh, plus equals. Fuck me. Okay, so basically by the end of this check, we will know whether or not there's at least one empty space in that position, which means that I can go ahead and take a look at this thing. So top left corner, so I just gotta do minus 16, minus 16. And yes, so instance create layer will be xxyy. Blocks and obj cb block. Now the last thing we need to check is if position meeting xxyy obj slip block, and make sure that there isn't a slip block in there, because those we actually have to place in the editor, in the room editor. Come on, here we go. Ah, for God's sakes. technically I'm done. Let's see if this SOB will behave. And alright, let's get stuck in an infinite loop together. Man, 15-minute break at work, and I burn my fucking tongue on eating a Hot Pocket. I'm like, they're calling me downstairs, I'm like, fuck! It's delicious. It's like the first time I've ever had a pizza pop. I'm serious, I've never had a pizza pop. What the fuck? Well, okay. I mean, that was something. Oh shit. Whoopsie. Empty selected. So if empty selected is equals to true and there's no slip block in that position, then we'll get on with it. Hey, somebody's in the Twitch stream watching the. Oh, wait, never mind. That's me. Fuck. Got excited. Motherfucker, why is it not working? Oh, yeah, that's right. I need to. Okay, so first of all, I need to position it where we have a block. Yes. We also need to position it at -16 and -16. Also, Janko, I'm not sure if you know it, my debugger's working again. The latest update fixed it. I think I told you yesterday, actually. Now that I think about it. Something like this may have come up. Oh, Jesus. Well, that was not nice. I haven't actually used it yet. I'm waiting for an opportune moment to do so. But I think the graph is going to be really useful because the debug overlay is... It's okay, but that's way better. Anyways, what the fuck? Oh yeah, that's right. The last thing I need to do is to check if there's a tile where I'm actually checking. So how about this? Before even doing this, we're gonna check if this thing even has a tile. But it needs to check for empty spaces. So if this is a thing, so if there is a tile where we're checking, I will put this thing here. If there is a tile, then check if there's an empty space around it. If there is, we'll set it to true, and as long as there isn't a slip block in that position, we'll go ahead and spawn our collision block. This should effectively make a contour of our level. And big fuck all we're getting. Okay. Okay, once more. It's working, technically. Maybe not. So, if tile map, oh, x, x, y, y, should probably do that instead. So, hold on. If x, x, y, y, which is 16 and 16, on the map ID main, if it has if it has a block, actually, if it's not equals to 0, would probably be a better, because there's more than one type of blocks in there. Then check if the surrounding area has at least one empty block. If it does, check if it doesn't have a slip block, so we don't need conflicting bricks in there, and we'll get that show on the road. Hey, it's working. It's actually fucking working. Nice. So now my main idea is to deactivate all of them and only activate the ones that are like within player's reach. That's all I need to do. So per room thing. So we're gonna go ahead and instance deactivate object obj obj cb block. Then deactivate all of them every step of the way, and then within the player we're going to do instance activate region, within which we're going to activate x minus 128, y minus 128, x plus 128, y plus 128 inside true. So this will activate the blocks only under the player. There's a few other objects that I need to activate it for, but for now, this will hopefully solve my problem. And sure. Inside, what does that do actually? No, just thank you. No, data types. Whether they activate on the inside of the region, true, or outside, false. Pretty good. I was trying to do tile-based collisions yesterday. I've played around with it for quite a while. There's a bit of a problem with continuity between corners, which is the something I never had to deal with the object or instance-based collisions. So I'm basically going. Excuse me. I'm going back to that, and I'm just gonna be. I've just written a piece of code that will automatically generate my collision blocks throughout the entire level. That was the main benefit of the tile-based collision, because you just paint the tile, right? So I'm basically just using a system that will read the tile data and where the walkable tiles are supposed to be, and place a block there. And all I'm trying to do now is to make sure that the player is just going to activate the tiles that he's basically within. So how about this? So let's do like 328 instead of 128, just to see if it's working. Okay, so that's doing basically decal. What happens if I actually deactivate it using the player object and just activate it in the region right after, because I do have a code that does. Oh, hold on a second. Did I leave the code that? I don't think it would be a problem, but it's better that I just check. I do have another piece of code that actually does it. God damn, we need bookmarks. Man, do we add bookmarks? Can we add bookmarks here? Code snippets, no regions, fold. Oh, nice. They added key commands for the foldings. Somebody took in my my request. Okay, but no bookmarks basically. Great. Anyways, now is it in this one, or is it? No, I think it was actually in the lighting object. Master. Object ambient kit master. So that was a thing of the step event. Yeah, it's in here somewhere. Stunts. Deactivate. Here we go. That's basically there. And people expect that when they drop into a game dev live stream, that they're gonna see the game for the most part. Which, I mean, would really be only true when you're making levels. Hey, okay, so that's working. So now I need to deactivate all of these things. So how about we'll just go ahead and do that right over here. So deactivate object block. Yes. Then we'll do instance activate region. Okay, almost. Not quite. Let me actually read up on this thing. Oh wait, what? Nah, that's not right. Instance deactivate object. The object or instance to deactivate the game of. Okay. It's literally supposed to work here. What if I do this? What if it's an off chance that that function is broken? Which it probably isn't. It's just me improperly using it. So there's that thing. Ah, smooth collisions that don't stick around. How I have missed you. Okay. So now I need a system that will... So what happens when I basically do that? Is it going to deactivate them? my tiles colliding now? That is a different soundtrack. I was using tile collisions, but I'm not anymore. I'm back to like this stuff. What the fuck? Oh, I think the draw event is a little finicky with the way activation and deactivation takes place. Okay, so it's still drawing the instance, even if it's deactivated. I can't add a single byte data to a buffer. Janko, you taught me how to use buffers. Okay, so I think this actually works. It's just the drawing is a little finicky with the way it is. The format documentation doesn't let me. It offers me a few constants that are made of specific things. Right. Well, I mean, you can't be asking me about vertex buffers when you're the one who taught me vertex buffers. Okay, so the only way I can check... Aha! You see? The blocks are there. So you see that if I move away, it actually deactivates the blocks. Okay, so how about this? For some reason, the drawing still persists with these blocks, so I'm not really sure what's up with that. How about... So if I were to tone it down a notch in here, yes, step of it. So I'd say 128, 128, 128, 128. Maybe even like really like 64. Just a few blocks around. I mean, try the radius solution, man. See if that works. If you just need to apply the... You can literally supply the shader with a handle, the radius of your light that the player or the user has to set for their game. Right? And just check around the radius. Okay, so... There are a lot of instances here. You can't find any documentation on the handle. Let me check. It's Oh, not this thing. This. Okay, so there's the handle. Shader get uniform. Yeah, it's in here. Fuck, that's a local address. God damn it. 1 second. That's what the handle is. It literally says here. Look. Look. The shader constant to get the handle off a string. Handle, handle, handle. Danger, danger. That's exactly what it is. You literally get a handle on a shader parameter, and you adjust it via GML. It's just the function's called uniform. Laser caution. Laser caution. Laser. Okay. There's no way to activate a certain object, is there? Game maker. Wait. I'm sure there is. Instance activate region. Okay. Make a script. SCR activate region. Activate instance activate region. There we go. So first of all, equals argument 0, which object, x pose y pose equals argument 1, argument 2, and range argument 3. So instance activate object. Ooh, this might be tricky. Jesus, this is actually gonna be tricky. I have a lot of instances. Oh man. Man, the only if I have like 7,000 instances, which is what exactly what I'm gonna get with these large levels, it's going to activate all of them, and then it's going to have to go through each and every single one of them, say if that instance is outside of region, and then deactivate that instance. This is a bad idea. I'm just gonna stick to the script that activates the region, or activates the instances within the view, essentially. And I'll add some additional stuff for other objects. So where the fuck was this thing? It was working just fine. I'll just stick to that one. Oh man. Was it in the lighting object? Yeah, I think it was on the lighting object. Instance activate object activates all of them, doesn't it? Let me check, actually. I need to essentially activate a specific... Is that even... No. Yeah, activate object. Yeah, no, that activates all of them. I need to activate... No, here's the thing. My idea was to... Like, my current automated system creates the collision blocks for every tile. That's basically an outline. Now, with large levels, that's going to be like a good 2,000 objects, which is just not good. So, my idea here was for me to essentially activate a region just around the player. So that's literally like tops, maybe 5 collision blocks. But the problem is that I have other objects that also need to be deactivated, like lighting. Because there are lights that are also levels that have like a good 800 lights that highlight a contour, right? So essentially, they also participate in the deactivation and activate region. The problem is that activate region is now the view, not just the player. Because for the player, I just need to activate a few collision blocks that are around the player. For the lights, I need to activate all the lights that are within the view, because you can see them. The problem is that fucks up the entire thing, and essentially whatever the object activates in its region basically doesn't matter, because, well, the same exact script in the lighting will basically activate all of those instances too. So this basically doesn't do shit. If there was a function that could activate a certain object within a region, that would be great. Right? So that would actually fit perfectly, right? So I can have a different region to activate the light objects and a different region to activate the object, the collision blocks. The problem is that the scripts that are out there that basically kind of do it involve first activating all of them and then just deactivating that are outside of the view. So that's basically voids the entire fucking system, right? The whole point is to not have all of them active at any time, but when you're looking at them. Where is this thing? Where the fuck did I place it? Okay, here we go. So, master. So, I mean, the system was kind of working. I mean, right now I was just looking into if I could improve it even further. You know what we need? We need a tick here. I'm going to actually post this on the forum. We need a checkbox to only display certain objects. So that you can stop displaying sprites. I'm gonna go ahead and post this on the forum. Discussion. Put checkboxes in the Control plus T, search to only resource checkboxes, and the Control T is search pop up. Basically, to isolate search to only objects and or sprites. Make the checkboxes selections retained so that next time you can, next time you press Ctrl+T, you're still the last selection will be there. Shall be still selected. Okay. For we don't want to filter the selection. Don't want to filter selection like it is right now. They can just leave all the checkboxes ticked. No one loses anything. Because there's always going to be one old fart on the forum who's going to be like, I like the way it is now. Don't change it. Even if it is for the better. Reese's Pieces. Okay. Lose any function. Simply leave. Okay, so that's that. And I actually want to kind of post this on the forum. The question of why there isn't a region, the thing. Is there like a general discussion? Programming. Sure. So my suspicion is that you can't activate a certain object just because probably something like their IDs get unloaded and whatnot. Shit, you know what? That probably would be something you could do. But, okay, no, if it involves... It seems like you can only activate all of the objects. And something tells me it's because when you deactivate an object, things like handles disappear, things like IDs disappear, and you can't just address a certain object anymore because there's no more, like, ID to address it by, right? So, you know, fuck it. Where is this thing? Reese, I have been implementing a couple of visual things I'm going to show you in just a moment. Seriously, we need bookmarks. Wait, hold on. No, we have bookmarks for this thing. But we don't have bookmarks for the code. Search titles only. I'll post another one. Quickly navigating code blocks. Okay. Okay, so this is where I need to deactivate all of the OBJ. Come on. CB block. And this is where all of these instances will be activated within just the region. Actually, I got it. So, basically, here's what we're gonna do. It could still be done. All we need to do is we just need to kind of activate smaller and smaller regions. So, basically, first we deactivate everything. Then we, you know, this is the view size. So my idea is that I have a light here, I have a light here, and the light is shining like this, so it's in the view, right? This one's not in the view. You know, I have a light here, and this one's kind of a circle view. So my idea is that first we deactivate the lights, we deactivate the blocks, and whatever else needs to be deactivated. First we activate the largest region. So we activate our lights. Then we go smaller. We activate the region with all the collision blocks, which is like a tiny region here. So we're still running this thing, but now Ah, fuck me. No, that's not gonna work. Because, titties. Because you can't activate a certain instance. It activates all of them. Motherfucker. Ah, Hero's getting excited. Yeah, this thing is going to activate everything. No, it's... Ah, man. If I place the deactivate object after the activation this thing is still going to activate all of those. I can rename instances. So what happens if I do this? This was basically my idea. First we deactivate object light. Then we activate only the ones that are within region. Then we deactivate object block, and then we'll do this again and activate it only within the region. Gem Wolf, hey! How's it going? Right, so basically, I mean, this is still going to activate all of the blocks, which is not... Ah, man. Fine. Shenanigans, man. I went back to instance collisions. I played around with tile collisions, but there's a certain problem with corners. How do you basically deal with the corners? And I've watched your tutorial. I've watched Heart's tutorial, Heart Beasts, and a bunch of others. They all do the same thing, right? They have like a player that's 32 by 32 pixels and have a tile that's 32 by 32 pixels. That's just not the case in this case. Instance ID. Can I supply one by... Oh, okay. He's asking his own thing. So, yeah. Like, basically... Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just disable this thing. I'm gonna disable this, all of this. And essentially... I just want to see the thing at least work before I... Here we go. Instance ID gives you the individual instance ID, yes. But, that's the thing. The player is larger than the tile, but I've tried to wrap my head around it, but to be honest, I already have a functioning system. This is basically what I'm doing here. You see this? Also, bad touch. How many times am I using this? Oh, there's a thing here. Instance activate region. Oh, that's for the light saving thing. Okay. X minus 64, Y minus 64, X plus 64, Y plus 64. The only problem is that my lights, man. I can't like I can only concentrate on massively deactivating and activating one item. Can I actually just 32, 32, 32, 32, left, top. Oh, yeah, okay, whoopsie. Okay, left top, 64. It's just, yeah, 64. I forget that it's not like draw rectangle stuff. You can still access instance variables or deactivate instances, so you should write a custom script to deactivate object region. Or, okay, so I've looked into those scripts, but they involve basically you activating all of the instances and then deactivating the ones that are outside the region. The problem is, my larger levels will have about 1,000 to 2,000 instances. So okay, so basically this is what I'm doing here. And I should increase that region actually. Like 128, 128, 256, 256. Accommodate, man. Accommodate. Can't you group the instances into groups to activate and deactivate them? Okay, well, I mean, that's very generic. Like, you need to give me at least some sort of a code logic example. Okay, so this is basically what I'm doing. Right? This is how I'm keeping my instance number down. I'm just activating the collision blocks that are around the player. The problem, right? The problem gets later. Like, first of all, those saws right down there, these saws also use object collisions. See how they're running through? So I'm gonna have to, I could probably still use tile collisions on these things. So that wouldn't be all that much of a problem. Why is that thing sending 2 saws right now? Oh yeah, that's because collisions are not working. So right now I've got like 100 instances. And like mostly over 80 FPS. GMS2 uses smart object collisions. The capacity is probably all long and or better. Probably, but you know, object collisions work. And it's not like I had any performance issues with object collisions. It's just that, you know, I figured, no, tile collisions, maybe I'll go with that because then I don't have to place all these instances. I've just programmed the exact same thing that just places the collision objects along the line. I could probably make an even better one that can, instead of placing like 100 of these every single 32 by 32 block, it can place one and then track it to one direction and then stretch to that direction. But that's like going even further up. Right now my deactivation code deactivates all, so it's only going to deactivate all 2,000 collision blocks right at the beginning, after which it just activates like 2 or 3, you know, anywhere from 5 to 10 instances around the player, and then it just deactivates those 2 or 3 around the player again once he moves out. The other system that I've seen is the one that actually gives you the ability to deactivate objects that are outside of region, but it involves basically, wait, hold on, what did you say? You said did you say you can still access instances variables once they are deactivated? So that means I can deactivate. Hold on, is that actually right? Can I still do like deactivate all of the blocks and still do the check like what is the closest object? If I do what is the closest object collision block, is it going to return like if the one closest to me is deactivated, is it still going to return it? Yes, can deactivate them but still use their variables. Okay, so that's kind of useful. No, so there you go. That's the problem. That's the problem. That's like the whole solution to this thing. So, I mean, performance-wise, I'm not seeing any changes. And I'm running an old computer. So... Ah, man. Can still do instance X. Okay, so basically I need to keep a log of all the instances. So I can keep the log of their positions, basically, is what you're saying, and activate those ones if they're close. So that's like a whole basic background system that runs that. Hold on a second. What the fuck is that? Instance activate object in region? That's basically what I was looking at. Yeah, that's... Ah, man. Oh, well. Okay, well, you know what? I mean, that's like going over the top. If later down the line I will see significant... Like, okay, let me test... It would probably come in useful with the lighting system, for sure. So basically, as soon as the level is created, like, if I'm gonna go over here... As soon as the level is created, I need to log the positions of all the lights. And my lights are not dynamic, they're just stationary. What is instance... Okay, well, I can still do instance X, yes. The problem is I've got like 800 lights, so once again, running a loop for 800 objects is not the smartest idea. Right? So, blocks does not exist. Right, I need to put that layer back in there. So, let's see. So, you see, this is a pretty big fucking level. Every single outline is gonna have my collision block in there. Which, actually, I'm gonna have way more of those than I'm gonna have of lights. So... let me put in the blocks. And I might as well drop in my developer mode variable too. So what I'm thinking is probably just keep a log of... Like, as soon as the level starts... Keep a log of all of the light objects once, and then do a loop, that will activate, like, probably do something with data structures. The DS grids probably have some sort of a feature that can, like, check positions of whatever, something. And just activate, you know, just do a object region activate around where these light positions are, the ones that are closest to the camera. So, for now, you know, this is basically what I need. Even right now, I'm running only like 300 something lights, realistically. Way less. Like, wait until I get outside, basically. And I can probably run a deactivation script every, like, let's say 5 steps or 10 steps. So that, as you said, deactivating, like, yeah, basically, it's not deactivate, because I can grow a few of those things for a little while. So it doesn't deactivate them every time. So object block And I can do like over here, collision, deactivate, counter equals, let's do like 5 basically. Counter for deactivations, function to prevent deactivation every step. So here, collision deactivation counter, we'll set it to 0, and we'll go back in here and say if collision deactivation counter is 0, we will run the deactivation script, and then we'll say, well, this will be equals to 5. I mean, okay. I think DS lists have a like find value, and it will return an ID or something. Okay, basically that right there, and it just keeps activating them. I forgot to increment them. Else minus equals 1. So there, now it's gonna run every 5 steps. And if anything, I can up the value. My question is, what would happen if I have co-op, so 2 players activating and deactivating these things? That's actually what I'm gonna test in just a second. Okay, here we go. There we are. So now it's not every single step. Now the lights. Now the lights. Dicks. Okay. So what's happening with the lights here? And yeah, my draw calls are just kind of wonky right now. All because of all those lighting objects. You know what? I can still do it. So I can still technically do region activation for lights. All I have to really do now you can't have an activation shape. Okay, I can. I'm just gonna have to use 4 instance activation scripts. The ones that they're just outside of the view, but they're not encompassing the entire room. So the player is gonna be handling activating objects within his own region. The lighting activation is going to take place from the view bound outwards by the X, whatever amount of pixels that I'm actually using. So let's try that actually. Let's see. Where's my thing? No, let's actually switch to this thing. Okay, so this basically has to take place out here. What if I actually run this? Just without the object block. What will happen? What if I actually run this? Is object player gonna be running it outside? Oliver! Yeah, thanks for dropping by. What's up? You're a game developer or just looking around? Okay, here we go. Okay, so it is activating all of my collision objects. In fact, that basically ramped it right up. Right, so... Okay, what are you working on? Got anything show-worthy? Or share-worthy, I should say. Okay, so now let me just quickly... Actually, whoops. Okay, so let me do this. So, first of all, the left pad. So this is going to be starting from... I have a project on deleted link. Post the link without .com or something. Let me see if I can actually... no, can't unblock this. That sucks. There's a way to post links on Twitch. You just gotta kind of edit it a little bit. Okay, VX. Left. Top. Right, so it's VX. Right, so VX, VY. And then it's height. Inchio. Okay, I see. What's it called? I'll Google it. So VX. Actually, yeah, VX minus global pad, VY minus global pad. Then I'll do width will be global pad. So back to VX, and this will be V height plus global pad. Okay, so that is correct. I hope. So that deals with that. All I have to do with this now is say VX plus view width. And that's just going to be there. VY plus view height. Actually, let's not bother with the padding here. So this is gonna be view height. A text-based RPG. Ooh, that's exciting. I have a project that I want to do in that sense. Plain text-based RPG. FableSoft. No, that's not it. Wait, text-based RPG. It's actually text-based? Or is it something else? Is it like point and click? Like, you know, whatchamacallit? Have it as a little hobby. I see. Okay. Wait, is this it? Or am I looking at something else? Itch.io. Plain. No, username is... Okay, native console. So OJ18. OJ18. I see it. Plain. Yep. Got it. Let's take a look at this. Swipe, smash, burst. Oh, this is really cool. Nice. Cool. This is actually pretty cool. I had an idea of doing a game like this for one of my stories. But it's like it's not on the computer. It's like a next step project. So yeah, man, that's really cool. Okay. So, right. So, Coxie. Here, I'll this is the link. And I'll post it on the YouTube chat too, because this actually looks pretty cool. Because my friend and I we did this when we played whatchamacallit, Zork. We played Zork. We just Skyped with each other. It's like, oh, I just got killed by an orc. Well, great. Load it up. Look west. Get out of the window. You know. Man, that game is just convoluted. Oh. Instance. Activate region. Okay, so this is basically what I gotta do. Top left corner. So VX, VY. And I gotta do VX minus pad. And no, not VX minus pad. I basically gotta do minus pad and height. Then VX width, VX height, or VY plus height. And then I could do pad, and I'm not going to be adding any padding here. Actually, no, it's Vx plus Vy, and then V height, and no padding here. So this is gonna deal with left and right. If you want to know, I made it. It's made in C# console. Oh, that's cool. Using actual console, actual like CNET consoles. We have a Dell Power Connect switch. The only way you can set that sucker up if you connect the serial port and actually link up to it with a terminal, like fuck, what's that open source CNET connection host? Putty. And you link it up with Putty, and then you gotta like punch in console commands, and that's the only way you can set it up. But the thing is, we got it for like $40, so basically our entire home network is running on a gigabit connection. Yeah. Imagine hosting your game on a virtual VM network, and you'd have to use like an old console or old VM host, VNet host, in order to connect to your game to play it. It's kind of like there are these still old websites that are being kept online that can be accessed via like the old Atari and something computer. Like, these websites are literally made to be accessed via the Commodore 64s with their like dial-up networks and stuff. And there's websites that actually can be there's forums that act just for like Commodore 64 users, and they can only access it using Commodore 64s, right? Because it would usually make little sense with just a regular computer and the browser. So imagine that. Yeah, man. Now imagine an online game like that, eh? So like when you enter a room, you can like look around, and if there's a player there, it's gonna list their username, and you can actually like talk to them, and the user on the other side will be like, "This character is trying to talk to you." This so username looked at you vigorously. He is walking towards you in an attempt to start a conversation. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now let's do this down below. So we'll do Vx, Vy plus view height. Vx actually will do minus global.pad Vy view height, and then we'll do view width plus global pad view height plus global dot pad. I think they fixed the bullshit with the GameMaker hogging when I'm trying to do dot and whatnot. Alright, Wolf, thanks for dropping by. See you next time. Wolf got all excited. It's like, oh man, I gotta make this game before anyone else does. I have the head start. I will be a millionaire. Okay, so we'll do just Vx. So that's the top part. And we'll do Vy minus global.pad. Then we'll do view width plus global.pad, and then just global.pad. After which, the bottom part, or I should say just vx minus global.pad vy plus view height, and then view width plus global.pad and global.pad. So this should basically made a pad. Yeah, I posted Jenko, I posted a link to that. What was it? Was it Oliver? OJ18. Okay, so what is going on here? And let me follow the logic with paint. Let's see. So we have our... Fuck me. Okay, hold on. We have our view. Okay, so instance activate region. So first of all, view x, view y, x. So it would actually go inside. So it's got to be. Can you do negative values with regions, or should I do like view x minus global.pad? Nope, never mind. It's still vx minus a global.pad. I'm gonna have to do this kind of in reverse. So actually, let me launch up my always on top thing. There we go. So vx minus global pad vy, then vx global pad view height. So that is the first region. After which, view x plus view width, view y, and then the width is global.pad, view height. So that is that side over there. Next up, view x minus view pad, view y minus pad, so that's there. Then view width, view width multiplied by 2. So I need this plus global pad multiplied by 2, and then global pad. So that is my top pad. Yeah, man, keeping your game updated. Post it in more places. Game Jolt, make a press kit. Make a press... Actually, shit. I'm not sure how much you're working with it, but here, I'll post a couple of links. I usually post these whenever I get people dropping by. Actually, here, how about I'll just make this playlist public. I'll just make it unlisted. And then save that. So here, I'll send you a playlist. There's only 2 videos in there. I usually scout around for useful videos, and I place it here. And I've posted this before in the other, but I'll place it in both chats. The first video there is marketing indie games for 0 budget. That's the first one I'd recommend to watch. Because there's like all kinds of useful information of how to make your game marketable without putting money into it. At least at the start. Okay, so this is VX minus global pad. VY. Let's see here. VY view height. Plus. No, just VY view height. So over here. Then view width plus global pad multiplied by 2. So this and the pad here. So that should now have my padding around the level. Can't see the link in your chat. Weird. Here, let me see if I can post this again. Strange stuff. Should be popping up. It's popping up on the screen. So it's getting parsed. Okay, now. Okay. So. Okay, so this is working. I'm down to 300 instances. There's the, you dickhead. It's activating the lights, but it's deactivating them. So, God damn it. It's kind of useless. Twitch has the same delay, it's just, Sometimes, the thing is you can't rewind with Twitch. You might want to try Twitch. Because I'm not sure how much the rewind feature on YouTube is basically aiding. Here, I'll post the title for the video so you can search it up. Well, yeah, that's basically what it does. Whoops. Coxie. Funny thing is, I can see the link for the link you just posted in the video thing, so it didn't filter that one out. But, oh, because there's separate settings for it. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Anyway, so I need to figure out this lighting stuff. So it's deactivating. Oh man, it would just honestly, it would just be easier if I just did this and just not bother with all of this stuff. All right. Yeah. 2,152 instances. Whoopsie. Let me just place the instance disable block into this thing. Although, interestingly enough, performance didn't seem to hinder. Let me actually take a look at something. Is performance actually not being hindered by the 2,000 passive instances in the room? Because that is amazing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, man. You know, 70, 80 FPS with 2,000 instances. Hell yeah. Absolutely no problem. All right, so I'll still deactivate them though. Kind of important. 2,000 instances. Jesus Christ, man. Is there a way to go to the start of a stream on Twitch? No, they don't have that feature. Unless they do and I haven't activated it. The only way to watch the stream again is after the video comes up. So that's kind of why YouTube at the moment is kind of my sort of preference, because people can join in, and if like they get dropouts, they can just kind of wait and let it buffer a little bit. Still follow the stream, maybe like 20-30 seconds behind, but for the most part they'll still be there. Oh, Jesus. I should make a trailer. You should. You definitely should. And I'll be quite interested to see what the trailer will look like. Because how do you make a trailer for a text-based game? You can definitely like amp the feature, so to speak, that it is a text-based adventure. Ah, motherfucker. Come on. Okay, so thankfully the system that generates the collision blocks is working. So that's basically fantastic. Okay, don't fall into the same goddamn pit every goddamn time. Oh man. Yeah. Wires. Yeah. Oh man. I love it. I gotta tell Tim about this, because it's one of the more annoying things, placing all these instances. Making them, now you can just paint the terrain on. Nice! Beautiful. Wait, Twitch shows ads on my videos? What the fuck? I wasn't aware of that. Hold on. Hold on a second. How the fuck is Twitch showing ads on my videos? I don't have ads on YouTube. Maybe it's just Twitch being Twitch. Probably just Twitch being a twatch. CB, okay, but they do have this. A nice, juicy, deleted link. Yes. Look at this. Oh, I can hear myself. No, that's someone else. Shut up. Just... beautiful. Now I can hear myself. Alright. Anyways. Anyone know? Does anyone know use any video editing software? Vegas. Pretty straightforward stuff. It's either Vegas, Premiere, Final Cut, or a bajillion other shitty third-party softwares. Realistically. Hit Film Express. There you go. You can do that. Pros and cons to make text-based games. Some you might be able to guess. Saying for anyone interested in making a text. Okay, yeah. There's definitely pros and cons. There's pros, like in my case, I do have a text-based game that I want to make. It's a very specific project. But it's not a software text-based game, it's a hardware text-based game. Things like mechanical, like a QWERTY mechanical keyboard, an numpad, analog dials for things like health and radiation meters, and 2 screens, one for the story, one for the inventory. And basically, you type in the commands like look around. It returns you found a dead body in front of you. You say inspect dead body. And, yada yada yada, that kind of stuff. And it's a science fiction, post-apocalyptic survival game. So I'd say this system works pretty well. Whee! Hold on. What if I place this stuff after I reactivate it, and then I activate the thing here? Is that gonna work? I would imagine it is kind of complicated making a text-based game, because you kind of have to do a lot of like string parsing and all that stuff. Okay, can you please get off my screen? Thank you. Hey! Oh. Whoops. Yeah, that's not gonna work. I know Unity. I don't use Unity. What about it? What about Unity? Instance activate region. Yeah, so this is not gonna work. Actually, shit, hold on. Can I put this in the end step? Because that might be better. End step. Because I think that's exactly what the end step is for. I'm more of an Unreal Engine guy. Just because I started with Unreal Engine when I got into like 3D stuff. Spin 2D level editing, way easier. Added set support, tile set support, so you can literally paint tiles. Yep. Well, we got tile painting in GameMaker now, so that's nice. Hey, guess what? Guess what? It's working. I finally found the purpose for the end step event. the end step event is where I place the other instance deactivation bullshit. Look at that. Beautiful. 18 instances. Both activating and deactivating stuff. Man, Wolf should see that. Because he started thinking about ways of getting this shit done. Look at this. Beautiful. Deactivating lights in the step event. Deactivating this bullshit in the end step event. Oh man, this is beautiful. Fucking hell. Can't believe I got that to work. Oh, this is glorious. Fuck, I'm happy now. It actually worked. I found a solution. Oh man, this is beautiful. Okay, so let me just test out what happens when 2 players actually do this. I feel like ordering pizza now. It's gonna be me just eating pizza on a live stream. Sony Vegas is a lot of money, just like Premiere, just like Final Cut, but you know, you want to edit stuff professionally, then shit, man. Janko posted, hold on, Janko posted, here, I'll copy the message because I don't think you saw it. It was on the stream and popped up in the chat. He posted about this video editor. He says it's free and he says that it competes with, you know, the stuff that I mentioned. But yeah, like I use Vegas. I don't really bother with free stuff. Okay, let me connect the second controller so I can test if the collisions are being activated in co-op. Something tells me it might not be so easy. I might have to do a loop that actually loops through all of the players and activates the tiles around them. Okay, let's see. Oh shit, no, it's actually working. Nice. So more than one player, it's actually gonna work just fine. Finally found a use for the end step event. Oh man. This is great. Under 100 instances on a huge level like that. That is just freaking glorious. Actually, before I started the stream, I was making burger patties, so I might actually make some burgers. Because deliciousness. What is it? It's like, it's a 2-hour stream, so, you know, we can figure this out. Hit film with a T, yes. Oh, what? Whoops. Oh, sorry. That. Hit film. Sorry, I was copying your first spelling. Or what? Wait, how the fuck did it copy it without the T? High film. Hit film. That was weird. Anyways. So I know this stuff is working now. So that is a huge relief on my end. Alright, let's traverse 2 players. Let's do this. I need to test if the collisions with the rope is working with 2 players. Oh god. Okay, don't run off too far. You can't save somebody if they fell into the pit of death. Ooh, easy. Okay, here we go. We're getting there. Oh no. It's a tall structure. This is gonna take a while. Oh look, I'm playing with myself. Nice. This is really cool. Okay, so now that I have this stuff figured out, I'm gonna actually take on the task of what I wanted to do. Okay, this is working. I need to take on a task of creating more assets. And this is working. Okay, so it's interacting with both of those objects. I want to try something, actually. It's like a pendulum. To get your copy of film, tell your friends. Janko. Address. There's a way to skip it. Just do some experimenting. How to get around it. I believe clicking on the link then not actually posting it works. Aha. Oh, this is funny. No, I want more. Alright, well, anyways. So I know this works. Hit Film Express, huh? Interesting. I don't think I'm on the right place, but whatever. Alright, man, I'm feeling kind of hungry, actually, after figuring out all the collision block stuff, so... Oh, man. So happy that works. So, I'm going to go make myself some burgers and be right back. I'll take about 30-45 minutes. Oliver, if you have any more interest in these live streams, you can follow me, unless you already have. Let me check out, actually. Maybe you have already. Let's see, Restream, Streamlabs. I think you might have. And I'll be back in about 30-45 minutes. I'll grab some food. Oliver, oh no, you are. Okay, got it. So we're good. And I'm gonna start making assets so I could fill this place up with interesting content instead of just plain old tiles. Janko's like, he's trying to lure you into a trap. Come here, little girl. Alright. Okay, break time. Break time, gonna get some food, and I'll be back. Thanks for dropping by.